Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Daniel and right now I'm in Barcelona. And some of you might be confused because the video title suggests that the video is going to be about something that has changed or affected the look of New York, how that could be possible, how that something could be located in Barcelona. And actually, I would like to make another claim and say that something that is being hidden in Barcelona and is being missed by 9 people of 10 who come to visit this city, that something has not only affected the look of New York, but actually has affected the look of every modern city. I'm talking about the construction that is almost 100 years old. It was built by Germans in Barcelona in 1929, and now it's considered to be one of the most important constructions of the previous century. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. So the building behind my back used to be called German Pavilion, but right now they call it Barcelona Pavilion. It was built purposefully for the World Expo, which sets us back 100 years ago, where I should actually start the story. So, the World Exposition, it's actually a pretty significant event. They first had it in London, and after that they run these events in every major city of the world, for example in New York, Chicago, Paris, Dubai, and in 1929 in Barcelona. By the way, the Eiffel Tower, the famous symbol of Paris, was actually just the entrance gate for such an event in Paris in 1889. Basically, the idea of this event is that every country participant comes to this show and brings some innovation in technology, in culture, or for example in architecture. Usually the idea is that every country has its own pavilion, and inside of that pavilion they store the objects. But Germany decided to do it a bit different. They decided to make the pavilion the exhibit itself. Germany decided to send one of the best architects, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, who was 43 years old at the time, to build the pavilion and to make the pavilion the exhibit itself. Mies van der Rohe is a true legend in the world of architecture, and during his career he came up with 2 principles that sound like the less is more and the God is in the details, and basically they mean that the less clutter you have in your designs, the more sophisticated and visually appealing they are. So he came up with this building, and the look of the building was totally different from the rest of the buildings of that era. Just compare it to these pictures. These buildings, they are not comparable at all. But unfortunately, people didn't really like the building and it was demolished. Okay, so that was actually a joke. People liked the design of the building, especially the community of architects. They praised and they admired the work of Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. However, the pavilion was still dismantled, and the primary reason for that is that it was not meant to last. It was a temporary construction, but at the same time, lots and lots of pictures of that pavilion were taken, and during the next 15 years, these pictures were circulating in a community of architects, and people were talking about this building, they were examining it, and they came to a conclusion that that building is super important for their modernist architecture. When you look at all of these modern buildings like skyscrapers, office buildings, libraries, and even private homes, you see something in common, and what they have in common are the principles, and these principles, they were put together while designing and building this little pavilion in Barcelona. So that's why after 50 years, 2 Spanish architects, they decided to start pushing the agenda that this building has to be restored, rebuilt, reconstructed. And then in 1986, they built this copy of that building, and it almost matches the original one.
So you may wonder, what is this so special about this place? When you come and see it for the first time, it may appear to you simple and maybe even primitive, but believe me, that's not the case.
So next, I will try to break down the design of this building into several key moments and discuss in details how those have affected the look of modern cities and modern architecture. When you look at this building for the first time, you should immediately capture the extensive use of the straight lines.
Actually, the use of straight lines is probably the key element, one of the most important elements of this building, and later on this became the most important element of the modernist architecture at all.
The use of clean, straight lines gives the pavilion modern and minimalist appearance. This design approach has influenced modern architecture, making cities look more organized and harmonious.
Secondly, the materials. You don't find here too many materials, but all of them were hand-picked and they were picked in such a way so that they work together.
Just look at these amazing patterns, and Mies van der Rohe used pretty interesting combination of materials. He used traditional materials like marble or onyx and industrial materials like glass and steel. This blend of materials creates a visually striking and dynamic space, which has influenced the use of contrasting materials in modern architecture. The next element of the building, and it's actually the hallmark of modernist design, it's the roof.
It's completely flat. You definitely don't see it in other designs of that time, and it just floats about the building. It extends beyond the support. This is pretty cool and this is pretty unique, and again, this was built 100 years ago.
If you look at the building from the front, you can actually notice that the roof is kind of shifted. It's shifted to one side. Flat roofs have become a common feature in modern architecture because they contribute to clean and streamlined aesthetic.
This building is also equipped with two pools, but they are not for swimming. These are actually the reflection pools.
And the idea of these pools is to reflect the surroundings and create the visual connection between the interior and exterior of the building. Water features like these have become popular in modern architecture, adding a sense of tranquility and natural beauty to urban spaces.
Another pretty significant element of this construction are doors. Actually, the absence of doors. This whole space was designed in such a way so that the space it kind of continues to flow without any borders.
When you are in the building, you can actually feel how the boundaries between the interior and exterior of the building, they kind of don't exist, you just don't feel them. In the beginning of the video, I said that Germany wanted to create the building and to make that building the exhibit itself, and they didn't plan to store any objects inside, but that was excluding these chairs. These chairs are called Barcelona chairs, and they were also designed by Mies van der Rohe, but in a collaboration with another talented designer, Lily Reich. They are still being produced, you can purchase them, one costs $8,000, yeah, pretty pricey thing. And these chairs became the symbol of good taste and luxury, and you can actually find these chairs in lots of Hollywood movies. For example, in James Bond, or for example in American Psycho, or this one is called The Big Short, or this one is one of my most favorite TV shows. Better Call Saul. Here you can see Kim Wexler is sitting on this chair next to Howard. Absolutely amazing show.
So these chairs were specifically created for Spanish royal family. It was intended that when they come visit German Pavilion, they can sit in these chairs and try them, but that never actually happened. Instead, you now can come to this place and try these $8,000 seats. And believe me, they are so comfortable.
The impact of Barcelona Pavilion on the world of architecture was so big that up until today it stays as the symbol of modernist design. But it's important to say that the design of Barcelona Pavilion didn't directly affect the look of modern cities, since it was just a small one-story building. However, the pavilion's design principles, including its focus on clean lines, simple forms, and the use of modern materials, had a significant impact on the development of modernist architecture, which in turn affected the look of the skyscrapers and thus the look of modern cities. And that's why it's so huge and it's so important, and I hope when next time you come to Barcelona, you don't miss this building.
Hey guys, hope you liked the video. You know how it works. Thumbs up, subscriptions, comments, this all helps to run the channel, and see you next time.